Hello everybody and welcome to batch 215 in the freeze dryer. I did a small video the other day where I showed you some of the dog food that I had picked up, and if it doesn't look like dog food, it's probably because it wasn't meant to be dog food. This is actually human grade chicken, ground chicken, that was destined to go to be made into baby food. And apparently it kept getting pushed to the side, and instead of using it, it didn't get cycled. Well, they couldn't use it for baby food because it had expired. So it was going to be disposed of. They found a woman who took it all for them, and she sold it for $10 for a 40-pound box. So I bought some to freeze dry for my dogs. I wouldn't have had to freeze dry it except our raw dog food order came in, and that's where we picked it up from. They had this at the pickup for the co-op, and we had already ordered 400 pounds of dog food frozen in 5-pound tubes. I filled up our stand-up freezer. I filled up the freezer and the top shelf of our extra refrigerator. So that was just with the regular dog food. And then I had this huge 40-pound box of dog food that I had to put on a large baking tray in that refrigerator. And I cranked up the coldness in the refrigerator to try to keep it frozen until I can freeze dry it. So that's what I'm doing. And as you know, I normally add a lot of time to the freeze dryer. And we're looking right here. This time I didn't. Normally it's like, oh, this is how long it ran, and then that's what I added, and this is how long it would have needed. This needed 38 hours and 8 minutes in the freeze dryer to freeze dry 4 trays at 2.5 pounds each of ground chicken. So, and then I just put my little notes there that it was ground chicken, human grade, raw. And I put a canine because, you know, I'm using it for the dogs. And then so far, the grams that the freeze-dried 2.5 pounds weighs was 367 grams and 355 grams. I just like to keep track of that because I think it's cool. And here is the way that I decide how much goes into each bag. So if 367 grams is equal to 2.5 pounds raw, well, I just divide that by 2.5, and I come up with 146.8 grams of freeze-dried chicken equals 1 pound rehydrated. And then the second tray was 355 grams. So then again, divided by 2.5, come up with 142 grams is equivalent to 1 pound. So these, I just crossed that out because I recycle everything. My daughter had flashcards for her chemistry, and I mean, that's a lot of usable paper there left. She was just going to throw them away, and I said, no, I can use those for scrap paper, and they are also being used for to-do lists. So let me show you how I'm putting these in Mylar. I just put the O. When I put an O on one of my Mylar or in my food storage notes, for me, that means organic. HG is human grade. That's a new one I just had to do today. When you're writing out 20 envelopes, it's a lot nicer to be able to abbreviate. Now, if it would be vegetarian, it would be a V in a circle. I don't really differentiate between vegan and vegetarian. And then, of course, K9 means this is for the dogs. And, of course, there's my expiration. Now, because each one has 2.5 pounds, you would think that I would have to do a pound, and then a half a pound. But I don't. I just a pound, and then I put aside whatever's left, which is the equivalent of a half a pound, and I'll start a new bag. And then when I go to do the second tray, I take off a pound, and then whatever's left is the half pound, and it'll go in with the other one. Even though the weight would seem a little off, it actually is not. So this is the freeze-dried chicken, and I'm going to go ahead and finish up the rest of this. And then I have a whole bunch more to freeze dry. And since the video's 5 minutes, maybe I will actually just put up a short video, or who knows, maybe I will throw the videos together because I bought Filmora. Yeah, so now I can actually figure out how that works and, you know, edit some videos. I know how to put them together. That's probably it, and cutting them. But anyway, so yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And prepping for the dogs is what the rest of March is about. Oh, well, actually I forgot. I baked that turkey. So no, I'm going to actually do a load of people turkey. Okay. Let me know in the comments. What did you prep today?